Yo, it's your boy Logos, and I want to react to this video that Ram showed me because I think I have worthwhile input into this conversation. I am a black nerd and also digested red pill content over the past few years, and I made it pretty clear, at least in a few videos on this channel, how I stand on the red pill and how particular content creators have good input and sometimes some other ones have bad input and a bad representation of the community. Of course, not every man and every content creator is like certain people, but that doesn't mean, everything within the red pill or any of these other pills. Like, I guess there's a black pill now, and I guess there's other colors now. I don't know. I think it's kind of ridiculous. The origination of the red pill was, from the Matrix. Red pill, blue pill. But black pill, white pill, all these different pills, it just seems very, I don't know, tiresome, exaggerated, unnecessary. Especially when you get into the fringes or the extremes, when people just give up, people start hating women, all that stuff I don't like. And I don't think that's what's gonna be in this video because Ram isn't like that. I'm not like that. And I don't know, I don't think women owe men anything. Also at the same time, of course things aren't always equal. Life isn't fair, the world isn't fair. And going into any situation, always expecting fairness and instead of, trying to negotiate, get a good value out of wherever you're getting into. I don't know, you're just leaving yourself up to be disappointed, hurt, whatever it may be. But I want to get into this video because it seems pretty interesting. I got a lot I want to say. And I watch anime, play video games, all that type of nerdy stuff. So let's get into it.
I want you to put the word out there that we back up.
Alright, so what's poppin', y'all? I'm back after 2 months of not uploading nothing. I got a longer video in the works. Here's a clip. If nobody got me, I know women complaining about men on the internet got me. Can I get an amen? So that's what I've been doing for the past 2 months. Anyways, a couple of weeks ago, I came across this Twitter thread, and when I saw it, I knew I had to talk about it because it related to me personally. Now, me and Twitter have a love-hate relationship. On one hand, some of the funniest people alive are on Twitter, but on the other hand, some of the dumbest people alive are on Twitter. But
That's
over
true.
the years, I've learned how to balance it out because you got to do that if you want to be on Twitter and not lose brain cells. And very few tweets move me to the point to where I feel I have to make a video on them. Like it is my duty, my calling to talk about this. Here's the tweet in question. Now, upon initial contact, this tweet was a bit of an eyebrow raiser for reasons that will become evident later. However, I decided to dig a little deeper and take a trip to this person's Twitter bio. Now, I'm showing you their bio because I want
Come on, yo. Really? The throat? The throat Hashira. Come on, man. I don't need to see anything else in your bio. If that's your name of your Twitter account or your X account, you either gotta be a corn star or you gotta have OnlyFans. There's no way you don't have either. The throat Hashira. That's so crazy stuff, man.
you to get a feel for the type of people who post stuff like this. I want you to get a feel for the type of people who post stuff like this. I want you to get a
Oh my
feel for the
God.
type of people. Yo,
God
I went to her
damn.
Twitch account to see what kind of games she streams, and I came across this. I just got to put it in here because this shit is humorous.
Hello? What do they want me to do? I'm not understanding. What do these idiots want me to do? Oh, other way. I'm so stupid.
You get
She doesn't have to be good at the game. She doesn't even have to play a game. She could just stand there wearing a low cut V shirt and she will get money. She'll get subs. She's just one of thousands. Now, yeah, okay, yeah, maybe thousands on Twitch. On the other sites, many, many more. Like, she doesn't have to do anything and guys will still show up to go to her OnlyFans because she looks good. Like I said, life isn't fair, and it goes both ways. Name 10 men that you know that can just stand there and not play a game and just be shirtless or, half naked and just have women showing up, giving them money over and over for doing nothing, just being there. just, I guess, gracing the audience with his presence. I don't know any. Partially because, why would I seek that out? But two, I really just don't think it exists. Even for the most famous corn stars, whoever they may be, I don't think those guys can just do that. Just stream and have a whole bunch of women show up and not give a damn how good he is or anything else. It's all about his looks. I just don't think it exists.
Get the picture? You picking up what I'm putting down? Let me show you one more example, and I don't have to travel far because it is a top reply at the bottom of the original tweet. Like I said before, I just want you to get a feel for the kind of people who post. Now,
I just want to go back because I want to just go back to what she said.
Because it is a top reply.
Down here. If they read Bleach, Berserk, and Fairy Tail, I owe them some. I don't know if she mean cat. I don't know if she mean throat. I don't know if she mean the both or everything in between. Either way, she's not going to give them anything at all besides the videos and content and maybe some messages through her OnlyFans or whatever else site she uses. Come on, like, do these guys actually fall for this stuff? Actually believe they're going to get some throat or some cat or anything like that? I really hope not. Hope is, very blatantly obvious. It's similar to the ads on like Pornhub or any other, site. And they say, these people in your area want to smash. Click now. Like, who really clicks on it and falls for that? Even if you're like, I don't know. I want to say even if you're like a teenager and you're just like discovering, that type of content, I will hope you could understand like, yeah, that's not legit. And first of all, I'm not even 18. There's no way that can actually happen. If you're a 14 or 15-year-old can understand that, I don't understand how anybody else that's older can't understand that. The most she can give you is a fake girlfriend experience. And it is very fake. Because she's not really going to, kiss you, touch you, love you, be affectionate, do stuff you that girlfriend does, and happily do so. Even if you meet her in person, and let's say you really do purchase a girlfriend experience. Like, meet her in person, you go on a date, she holds your hand, she all the stuff. She do all the stuff that you think a girlfriend should do, even though you really have no idea about the intricacies of a relationship and all the nice, pleasant, good things that women can do for you that's not sexual. Even if you can't get all the other stuff that you think you should be getting, it's not gonna be genuine because you paying her to do this. So you just cheating yourself. That's how I feel about all these guys. One, you're dumb. And two, you're cheating yourself. Because the best you can get is nothing at all. Even the stuff that you are getting, she's sharing it with other men that's paying for that stuff too. That's nothing I never understood. If you doing this stuff like for the guys, I want that emotional connection. You don't feel like, I guess we're cheated, even though I don't think that's appropriate. But I don't know, I guess cheated, left out by the fact that you're sharing this experience with other people. She's not giving you all the time that she has available for this type of, feelings and connection and communication. It's divided amongst other people. And that's why she's busy. Not because of, I'm about to say not because of work like everybody else, but her doing that stuff is actually her job or work. You're no more than work to her. That doesn't feel pathetic to you. I'm not saying that to be mean, but this is the way I see things. And that helps me not want to do that shit. Because it's not even close to the real thing. But maybe because you don't know that, you can't even, you can't even quantify or think about that because you never had a girlfriend. I'm not saying that to be mean. I'm just saying the reality of certain men.
At the bottom of the original tweet. Like I said before, I just want you to get a feel for the kind of people who post. Now, the problem that I have with this tweet isn't that it's a couple of OnlyFans girls trying to boost their subscribers.
Hoes gotta eat too.
The problem that I have with this tweet is that it's all cap.
Stop right now!
Because if you've grown up as a nerdy black dude, as I have, you would know that black women would not touch you with a 10-foot pole. But I'll talk about that later. Back to the tweet. It was so bad that somebody started a separate Twitter thread where they asked black women to post their nerdy black boyfriends. And all that Twitter thread ended up being was black women posting their conventionally attractive boyfriends who just so happened to be into nerdy stuff. Now, I will admit that there was a few couples in there that truly were just two nerds falling in love. But what made the tweet even funnier was that in that thread, a couple of black women were getting exposed for lusting after white men in the past. And all I got to say about that is, those in glass houses should not throw stones. Now, here comes the part where I talk about my personal experience on this topic. I don't know if you realize it yet, but I myself am a black nerd. I am an African American male who possesses unconventional hobbies such as anime and video games. I'm not gonna use the term blurred because I think that shit sounds fucking stupid. I've been playing video games and watching anime since I was in grade school. I got a fat ass PS2 game collection. On occasion, I hunt down rare retro games so I can add them to my collection. I really do this nerd shit. And I can safely say after 20 years of being a nerd has never gotten me any pussy whatsoever. No.
Absolutely true. I never walked up to a girl and say, hey, I have this nice, really cool Xbox 360 collection, and I have Halo 3. You can come over and we can play some custom games. Like, no, that's not ever gonna work. And I've seen some controversy over this video involving a few content creators, which I think he goes into further in the second video, which I'm probably gonna react to right after this one. But the point that he's making, at least so far, is that being a nerd does not get you women. Being attractive gets women to like you. But if you happen to be into nerdy things too, that's cool. That's not going to deter them. But that's not what gets them in there. It's based on how you look. That's what really matters. You could be into anything at all. As long as you look good, people going to give you attention. And it goes both ways. Nerdy women get guys' attention. Even if it may be like a jock, a athlete that doesn't even care about video games or anime. They're just into their particular hobbies that has nothing to do with that type of nerdy stuff. They'll still be attracted to a nerdy woman because she's nice, she's cool, she's attractive, she look good. And that's all he needs.
No woman in the history of ever has ever wanted to date me because I told her I liked Inuyasha or Cowboy Bebop or Dragon Ball Z. No woman has ever thrown it back on me because I told her I like going to arcades. A woman has never had to wring out her panties because I told her I had a collection of PS2 games. It's just never happened. On the real though, could you imagine that? Hey girl, I play video games, I watch anime, and I have a big, juicy, thick PS2 collection. Being a nerd never got me any bitches, just plain and simple. I'll tell you what it did get me though. It got me flamed and ridiculed often until about the beginning of high school. No joke, I got called gay for nearly a whole semester after I mentioned that I played video games. Y'all think?
I never had that happen to me, but I don't remember. I never was like over the top or just told everybody that I play video games. Like, if you was my friend, then of course, I play video games because, we'll talk about it. We're friends. We have same hobbies. So, I don't know. I never got flamed for liking video games or nerdy stuff. But I didn't watch anime until I was like 20, 21. So, that was after high school. So, that's not even really that relevant. What I can say, though, is once a girl is already attracted to you, like I said earlier, you being into this type of stuff isn't going to deter her away. She already likes you. She likes your personality. You can make her laugh. You're interesting to talk to. And I think at the end of the day, that's what truly matters. If you can't talk to a girl, if you're afraid, if you have nothing to say, if you can't express yourself, then it's going to be damn near impossible to get a girl like you. And that should just be expected. You can't make any friendship if you can't communicate, share similar hobbies, all this other type of stuff. It's just, the bare minimum. But also at the same time, from my experience personally, after I was able to, talk to a girl, be together in a relationship, oftentimes I would put her on to the type of stuff I like, whether it's video games, anime multiple times, all this other nerdy stuff. She was down with it because she was down with me. She liked me, and then she ended up liking the stuff that I like. And I don't know, I'm the type of person, I just don't watch a whole bunch of shit. I don't watch a whole bunch of anime. I watch anime that, to me, and manga, that I consider top tier. Like, very, very good. Like Jujutsu Kaisen, stuff like that. Attack on Titan, stuff like that. So anytime I do put a woman onto the stuff I like, it's not like any shit. It's pretty good shit, at least from my point of view, or my opinion.
Think I'm making this up. This happened in 8th grade. Now, with this in mind, you can imagine how surprised I was when people began to come out of the woodwork just a few years later talking about how much they love nerdy men. Ooh, I love me a guy who likes anime. Now people are trying to rewrite history and say people didn't get bullied back in the day for liking anime. Oh, you didn't get bullied for liking anime? You got bullied because you Naruto ran in the hallways and tried to go Super Saiyan in the middle of class. Bro, how you gonna tell me what happened to me? How you gonna tell me I didn't get called gay for liking Dragon Ball Z? The worst offenders of this revisionist history campaign are the girls who want to sit there and tell you, oh, y'all didn't like us back in high school. Y'all always went after all of the white girls. Hold up, let me get this straight. So you're
That's
telling
bullshit.
me that as hard as it was,
They still do that now. Back saying you did that back in high school, they'll say you even do that still now today when you're older, beyond all that stuff, a grown adult, and they just make assumptions because of, I don't know, opinions you have, hobbies, and it's very very weird. But they have no idea. But just because you look a certain way, talk a certain way, you must be either acting white or into white people, or I don't know, have this worship of them, or some type of weird assumption that I don't know where they got from the people in their environment, maybe college. Either way, it's pretty damn stupid.
back then to find a girl, let alone a black girl who was into nerdy stuff. Nerdy black men was just out here curving nerdy girls left and right. Man, this is some bullshit.
But also, let's be completely honest too. And this is just not about him. This is just about nerds in general, black too, black, white, Hispanic, Asian, any type of nerd. Let's just be honest with ourselves. Were you attractive? And let's be honest, like guys, even if you're attracted to women, you know what women find attractive. So do you think you were attractive when you was growing up enough to, pull the particular woman that you wanted to pull? Number two, were you fat, overweight, obese, whatever you want to call it? If so, that definitely hurt your chances. Especially if you was short and fat, that help. I mean, that definitely don't help. That hurts you. And you those things, and you're awkward when it comes to talking with women, you don't want to approach them, that hurts your chances too. So like, he has a point about women not being attracted to nerds, but let's ask why. And it doesn't mean every single nerd is just like what I described, but let's also be honest. There's a good chunk that are. And you could have been that person too. You could have been falling within one of those categories. I know I was. I was fat. So let's just be honest with ourselves. And being honest is how you change that stuff. You can get in shape. You can work on your people skills, your communication. You can work on your personality, be more interesting to talk to, etc., etc. You can learn just not to do the weird shit that I've come to find out guys do for no fucking reason. Like, just like you get a girl that want to be, interested in you. You're just talking to her for a little bit. And then some guys, they just decide to send a dick pic randomly. No reason at all, just in the middle of a conversation. Out of nowhere. Like of course you don't want to do anything after that. Any chance of her thinking about that just got blown out the window because one, you just threw out any type of subtlety about whatever your intentions were, your maturity, your self-control. Second of all, you don't think this girl that you find attractive, and knowing that women have a lot more availability when it comes to sets and partners, you don't think this woman have seen a dick before? So what what possibly could seeing a dick pic randomly out the blue unasked for gonna do for her? How could that possibly be looked at positively? She's not texting you because she's wondering what your dick look like. If she wanted to know that, she would have told you to come over or asked, "Are you free?" Seriously, like, come on now. Like, seriously, come on, just think about it for a little bit. Only thing you're doing is just messing yourself up. But as I was saying, like, if you could just work on yourself and not do stupid shit like that, you're gonna be in a good percentage of guys that can at least get one girl. And I'm just saying one because there are a good chunk of guys that can't get any at all, and they want them. They want just one. They haven't experienced that. Some guys have never been kissed before.
Wish I was getting approached by some nerdy black girls back in high school and middle school. In my entire school career, I only knew 3 black girls who was into nerdy shit. One of them used to bully me, the other one friend zoned me, and the third one moved away. Now, 2 out of 3 of those girls are dating white guys now, but that's besides the point. All I'm saying is nerdy black girls, nerdy girls in general, they was not just popping up out of thin air back in the day like y'all say they were. If anything, the nerdy girls were the ones who were going after other dudes, because there was always this weird phenomenon that happened in high school where almost none of the nerdy guys had girlfriends, but almost all of the nerdy girls had boyfriends. Look, back in the day, it was a drought for nerdy dudes. I remember back in high school when we had this esports club, right? This was around the time all the freshmen, like all of the new freshmen that started joining the esports club, right? There was this one girl out of like 10, maybe 12 dudes. Anytime she would walk in the classroom, she just had a legion of dudes flocking her. She wasn't even that attractive. Like, she had teeth that looked like picket fences. Like, her teeth were throwing up gang signs. They were going in like all sorts of opposite directions. It was crazy. But for some odd reason, she always had this legion of dudes around her. So to anybody,
let me ask, I don't know, him bringing that up just made me think. When you see that dynamic going on, when you have that one girl in the club that likes the stuff that you guys like, and she might not be that attractive, but she's attractive enough, and her interest boosts up her attractiveness to you. She's very rare in terms of interest too, and you think you have a chance with her. Do you not see how all the guys, all the men, well, they weren't men at that point, all the young men flock to her? Well, the guy's kind of weird for doing that, but still, let's just look at the behavior. They just flock to her because of all the different characteristics and dynamics I just, laid out. But that's not too different from these, certain nerdy women or certain women going for more attractive guys and not focusing on the guys they find lesser attractive. Regardless of how you may feel about it, how I may feel about it, regardless if you're a nerd or not, or black nerd or not, it's a similar dynamic in the way that first, it's a limited, there, I don't know, the parameters of what they find attractive and when they want to get to and their chances that they feel of accomplishing what they want with that guy or that girl is very similar. Of course, you may not like it because she's not picking you, but also at the same time, when you have limited choices or your choice, you limit your choices yourself depending on what you find attractive. I don't know. I just see a very similar dynamic here playing out. And of course, on one hand, it's because the guys don't have a lot of options because a lot of women don't find them attractive, but the woman does have a lot of options. I don't know. It's a very weird thing going on.
who says, you just didn't want us.
Shut your goddamn ass up.
That's all we wanted back then. All we wanted was to be able to play Budokai Tenkaichi 2 with our little boo thing right next to us. But we couldn't get that. It was hard out here for nerds. And then you got people who just get nasty with it. I saw this one dude on Twitter say, you didn't get bullied because you watch anime. You were just a horrible person. I can't
And that's a lot of
watching
assumption.
Inuyasha and Dragon Ball Z on Saturday nights on Toonami made me such a horrible person. How could I have been so blind? Man, compared to me, King Von must have been a saint. Bro, stop it.
Get some help.
Now, as much dogging as I just did on people who said we didn't get bullied for liking anime, I gotta agree with them to an extent. We didn't get bullied for liking anime. We got bullied for liking anime while being ugly. It's about time somebody told the truth on this subject, so I guess I gotta be the one to do it. I hate this topic mainly because it's so dishonest. Women, be honest. You do not like nerds. You like conventionally attractive dudes who just so happen to be in the nerdy stuff. Seriously, can you recall a time where a man has gotten you soaked by telling you that he's read Berserk 5 times? I didn't think so. You met a guy that you found attractive, and him being into the same stuff that you were into was merely a bonus. You already wanted to date him. In my 20 years of living, I've never heard a woman tell another girl, he was fine, but he wasn't into anime. Could you believe that? I told him, I can't do this. My man has got to be into anime. He's got to be watching Inuyasha, Yu Yu Hakusho, Cowboy Bebop. I've seen nerdy women date men who aren't even remotely nerdy. You want to know why they still dated them? Because they found them attractive. So women, stop lying and saying that you like nerds. You don't. Ugly people have it rough. When you're ugly, everything you do is deemed weird and unappealing. There's a reason it took anime this long to go mainstream, even though anime's been out since like the 1980s. That's because attractive people started liking anime. And
What you say is very true. Like where you said if you're like ugly, almost everything you do is weird. Of course, there's a little bit of exaggeration. But have you seen that meme where it's like a comparison of an attractive guy and an ugly guy approaching a woman? And in one scenario, it's called sexual harassment, and the next is called him being on a flirtatious. Depending on what the guy says exactly, that cannot be true, but for the most part, it is pretty true. If a guy goes up to a woman and says, I don't know, something that's, a little bit provocative, he may be able to get away with it more because he is attractive. And the woman looks at him and realizes who says it and like, oh, him saying that actually, turn me on. But an ugly guy says it, she look at him and say, ugh, like she don't like the way he looks. She gonna feel very creeped out, like he gonna do something that short or try to harm her. It is what it is.
When people like Megan Thee Stallion and Michael B. Jordan started coming out talking about how much they like anime, that's when anime started to become mainstream. If these celebrities weren't talking about anime would have never seen the light of day. It would have remained underground and people would still be getting bullied for liking Dragon Ball Z. So if nobody's gonna say it, I'm gonna be the one to say it. There is a difference between a nerd and a conventionally attractive man who happens to like nerdy things. You want proof? I'll show you proof. There's proof in the very thread that I was talking about earlier about all of the girls going through and just posting their
I don't know, but is there like a line, like where does a line cross over? Because if Michael B. Jordan, I don't know, I feel like what if you're just a nerd that happens to be attractive? Of course, it doesn't change the fact with your dating prospects. Like if you're attractive, that's what got you that woman, not because you're an anime. But I don't know, I would still consider Michael B. Jordan, depending on how much anime, video games, all this other stuff that he does love and watching, how long he's been doing it. I would still consider him a nerd. He's for women, he's still attractive, but he's still a nerd. You get what I mean? But I still get, and I agree with his overall point. Just think it's hard to like draw that line the same because if he's a nerd, he's still a nerd. We can't control if he's attractive. He can't control that. He didn't ask to be born in this face. That just what he got through the luck of the draw. So I don't know. I still feel like he's a nerd, but he falls into that category where he's, dateable because he's attractive, not because he's into an anime or anything else nerdy.
things. You want proof? I'll show you proof. There's proof in the very thread that I was talking about earlier about all of the girls going through and just posting their conventionally attractive man who just so happened to be in the nerdy stuff. Look at this right here. Look at how sad this is. This man posted his selfie talking about how he needs his confidence boost. Somebody posted in the comments, man, you better go find it. On top of that, where's all of the black women who say they like nerdy black men? If it was true that you like nerdy black men, y'all should be running this man's DMs up. Look, even he knows what's up. In the name of all that is holy, y'all gotta stop lying to these men, okay? Just tell them the truth. Like, seriously, it's getting sad at this point. So, in conclusion, black women, listen, you can lie to me and you can lie to your mama, but you can't lie to yourself. You do not like nerds. You like sexy ass men who just so happen to be into nerdy things. We not mad at that. We know that.
I would just say they into sexy ass men, and then if they into anime, that's cool. If they into just sports or anything else, that's cool. They could be into playing the piano and the violin. Don't give a shit. He's attractive. He can take care of her, take care of family. That's all she really care about.
Just admit it. There's no need to lie about it. So yeah, like I said before, I got a longer video in the works. It should be done pretty soon. I've been working on this thing for about at least 3 months, maybe even longer. But yeah, just stick around for that. I might have another short, video of me just ranting about something. That might come out in between that and a long video. I don't know. We'll see. Anyways, video's over.
Y'all quit playing. Quit playing.
Yeah, overall, very good video, and I agree with this point. These men are attractive because their facial structure, their look, whatever it may be towards these women, that's what makes them attractive. Not because of their hobbies, not because of their interests, not because of anime, video games. It's because of how they look. And if they're famous, throw on the fame, throw on the money, throw everything else on top of that. I think that's what truly matters. Love at first sight, all that other nonsense, including this, nah. It's about how you look, and then from there, I can decide if I like your personality. Because if we're being honest, how you look gets your foot in the door. It decides if I want to keep talking to you, engaging with you, in terms of dating. Everything else, not really. or even still, if you're attractive, oftentimes you may be able to get away with stuff that a less attractive person can't, if we're being honest. If other ways, like, skipping lines at clubs, etc., all this different stuff that people, men, certain women too, they'll do the same thing too. They'll do beneficial stuff for people that look good because they want to be close to them. Maybe they want to date them, have sex with them. I don't know, just feel in their presence or feel, I don't know, cool by being attached to their hip. It's just the way it is. Can't control it. But at the end of the day, this whole idea about, I don't know, loving black nerds or nerds in general, I agree. That's just BS, and they're doing it to sell OnlyFans or adult content or their Twitch or anything else that they use to make money, and it makes sense. But I'm glad he called out the lies, disingenuousness, because it is what it is. It's there in plain sight. I don't think they're dating black nerds. But well, who knows? They're probably not dating anyone in general. At least not seriously. Probably not, because they make that type of content. But people still gonna cop. People still gonna lie because they want money. But let me know what you think in the comments down below. I'm gonna react to part 2 very soon to upload that next. But like, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Peace.